I know how this sounds. I really do. But before you judge me, just hear me out. I'm not insane. I'm just devoted. Sydney Sweetie isn't just some actress to me. She's a living myth, the last real star in a sea of filters and AI-generated fame. Her smile feels like warmth after frostbite. Her voice lingers in your head hours after an interview ends. She's flawless, but not plastic. She's there, raw and real, just far enough out of reach to keep you dreaming. I never missed a post, a new role, a red carpet look, an interview where she'd push hair behind her ear. I memorized it all. She was my ideal, my muse, my impossible maybe. She made me feel wild. So when I saw the announcement that Sydney had partnered with Dr. Squeech to release a limited edition soap, Bathwater Blizz, made with her actual bathwater, I thought it was a joke, a marketing stunt, but it wasn't. Only 5,000 bars made, limited to one per customer, launching June 6th at 10 a.m. sharp. I prepared like I was buying tickets to heaven. 3 alarms, 2 browsers open, a full cup of coffee and my credit card memorized. It sold out in under 60 seconds. I stared at the screen, disbelief morphing into panic. I'd missed my only chance. No way. I refreshed eBay like a gambler with a hot hand. 10 minutes later, boom, one real listing, factory sealed, verified, $300. I waited 3 days. Every hour crawled. When it arrived, the box was a soft, aquatic blue, clean and minimalist. Bathwater Blizz, limited edition, was printed in crisp white, centered beneath a silver water droplet that seemed to shimmer faintly, like it was watching me. The moment I cracked it open, the scent hit me like a dream colliding with reality. Floral, but not fake. Creamy, but not sugary. Something clean, something salty, something alive. The bar was smooth, glossy, almost too perfect to touch. I ran my fingers across it like it might sing. Then I leaned in, slowly, and breathed it in. The world stopped. I saw her. Not in the room, not exactly. Maybe in my head, clear as glass. Sydney, damp hair clinging to her cheeks, water trickling down her face, eyes soft and searching. She didn't smile. She didn't move. She just looked at me. Then she was gone. Just a flash, like sunlight in your eyes. I stumbled back a step, blinking hard. My hand still gripped the soap like a relic. My pulse thumped through my fingertips. She was real. That moment was real. I had to try it. I drew a bath, water hot enough to fog the mirror. I didn't like candles or play music. I wanted silence. I wanted her. The soap lathered with ease, thick and pearlescent, like it melted into me. The scent swelled in the heat, enveloping everything. It was like she was there. Not as a ghost, as a presence. Something intelligent, watching. I sat still. My mind drifted. The foam wrapped my arms, clung to my chest, ran between my fingers like silk. And with every pass of the soap, the scent grew deeper, denser. My thoughts unraveled. I wasn't alone. A pressure formed just behind me, gentle but real, like someone brushing past in a crowd. I froze. The water rippled. Breath touched the nape of my neck.
You've wanted this.
Someone whispered. I couldn't speak. My mind was buzzing and numb all at once. I stayed there for a long time. When I finally stood up, my skin tingled. The scent clung to me like a second skin. I pressed the bar to my chest. I couldn't put it down. I didn't dry off. I didn't get dressed. I walked straight to bed, still damp, still holding it. Sleep took me instantly. I woke up in a fog. My sheets were damp. My hand still gripped the soap like I'd clutched it all night. Then came the itch. First on my forearm, then my ribs, my scalp, my thighs. I sat up, confused, scratching. Looked down. My skin was covered in small red bumps, raised and inflamed. I stumbled into the bathroom, turned on the light. The bumps moved. I leaned closer. My stomach flipped. On the surface of one, just one, I saw a tiny, perfectly formed face. Delicate cheekbones, full lips, wide eyes, her face. I yelped and staggered back, nearly falling into the tub. But curiosity pulled me forward again. More bumps, more faces. They stared at me, silent. Some smiled, some frowned, some just watched. My heart pounded like a drum. I turned on the faucet and shoved the soap under it, lathering until my skin went raw. But the bumps didn't fade. They pulsed. They multiplied. I rubbed harder. My arms bled. Still they smiled. Then the lights flickered. The mirror fogged without heat. No steam, just cold breath on glass. And she was there. Sydney. Not a vision, not a reflection, something else. She sat in a dark tub, green water rising to her collarbone. Her skin was smooth and wet, but her eyes were wrong. Too wide, too empty. She opened her mouth.
You wanted a part of me. Now I'm taking what's mine.
I blinked. She was closer. The soap slipped from my hand. I couldn't move. Fingertips pressed against my spine. A voice purred into my ear.
Let me clean you. Let me purify you.
I didn't resist. I couldn't. Her hands dragged the soap across my arms, my chest, my face. Her voice lilted with venom.
You bought me like a product, a souvenir. You wore my scent like a second skin. How does it feel? Using a woman's bath water?
Her voice was soft, but it slithered down my spine like ice.
Do you feel powerful now?
She pressed her fingers into my sores. They burst like blisters, oozing heat and sound, whispers. I heard her memories, casting calls, harsh lights, men's voices, clinical and cruel.
Smile wider. Lose 5 pounds. Don't talk unless you're asked.
And always, you're perfect, you're perfect, you're perfect.
Men like you.
She leaned close, her voice turning bitter, acidic.
You're all the same. Greedy little pigs pretending it's love.
Sydney's nails scraped down my back. My skin peeled like tissue.
You bought a piece of me. And now I own you. You disgusting little thing. Let me scrub you.
I woke up alone, soaked, trembling. The soap was gone, the water drained. My skin, smooth, clean, as if nothing had happened. But the mirror told the truth. I wasn't there, only her, sitting in the tub, smiling, mouthing the word.
Next one.
I dreamed of the crown since I was little, but no one told me that to wear it I'd have to sell my skin, my blood, my name, and eventually even my smile. My name is Rachel. I grew up in a 10-square-meter slum apartment with a leaky roof and rats that gnawed the corners of our rice bags. While other kids played doctor or teacher, I practiced smiling in a cracked mirror, whispering answers to imaginary beauty pageant questions. I didn't dream of fame. I dreamed of escape. From debt, from hunger, from the burning shame on my mother's face every time we borrowed rice. I believed the crown could be a way out, that beauty could be my one currency in a world that charged interest on being poor. So when they came to me, corporate-looking men with briefcases and practiced smiles, I didn't hesitate. They said,
"We've paved the road for you. You become Miss National, then an influencer, live stream beauty products, a stable career. Just one condition. We implant neural interface to keep your performance optimal."
They called it a win-win. I called it salvation. The training began immediately. For 3 months, I was kept in a white facility where my posture, speech, and even eye-blinking rate were corrected. There were no clocks, no windows, only bright lighting and cameras. Every time I messed up, flubbed a line, missed a smile cue, the neural wires shocked me, not sharp pain. Number A, searing current that jolted through my spine like my bones were melting. At first I cried, then I screamed, but no one came, so I learned to stop resisting. And then I learned to smile. The investors came next, powerful men, silent, evaluating. They sat in rooms where I served wine and compliments, where my job was to amuse, flatter, obey. My manager whispered,
"This is part of the journey. They made you, now you entertain them."
I nodded, not out of agreement, out of instinct, because hesitation meant another electric jolt. A reminder, I was no longer a person, I was a product. My value was in performance, in packaging, in pliability. I won the crown that winter. The lights, the applause, the televised tears. I became the nation's sweetheart. My face appeared on magazines, milk cartons, digital billboards. The whole country celebrated the fairy tale, the poor girl who became a queen. But the real coronation came later, alone, in a locked hotel suite. Instead of jewels, they handed me a live stream rig, a ring light, a branded bathrobe. The crown stayed on, but it wasn't authentic. I never felt its weight until that night.
"Time to earn back your value,"
they said. I was now the face of Serum X99, a skin-whitening miracle. I sold it every night for 4 hours straight, smiling, winking, thanking thousands of fans for their purchases. I laughed. I shared skincare tips. I told anecdotes carefully written for me. The neural interface was still in me, now so deep they twitched when I breathed. Sometimes I felt them pulsing under my skin like living vines, coiled into my nervous system. I asked when they'd remove them.
"When your audience retention drops,"
they replied. They didn't need to say more. I understood. As long as I was profitable, I was theirs. One night, I accidentally dropped a bottle of serum backstage. It cracked open, oozing something thick, veiny, twitching, alive. I screamed. The system zapped me. Don't overreact. Keep smiling. Was I selling cosmetics or curses? Every jar I shipped could have carried something grotesque. But the fans believed. They trusted me. They adored me, and that made it worse. I tried to pull the wires out once. Locked myself in a bathroom. Yanked a connector near my forehead. My vision blurred. Blood mixed with static. I lost all sensation in my left arm for hours. They found me, reattached the wires, increased the voltage, cut my rations. I wasn't punished with prison. I was punished with performance. You are valuable, but replaceable. That night I cried without making a sound. Even my sobs had to be beautiful. So I went live one last time, but not to sell. My name is Rachel, I told the camera. I'm not free. I'm controlled. Everything you've bought from me is a lie. Please, help me. They reported my video. Within hours, my name was scrubbed from the internet. My pageant footage deleted. My fan pages gone. My face blurred in photos. My existence turned into a glitch in the system. They yanked out my neural interface, violently, without anesthetic. My skin tore, my memory fragmented. And then they replaced me. A new girl, younger, brighter, paler, shinier. She wore my dresses, my smile. She called herself Rachel 2.0.
Sister Rachel is taking a break.
She giggled.
I'll carry her legacy.
The fans believed her. They moved on like I was a software update. Now I rent a mouldy room in the outer slums. No crown, no fans, just my bruised body and a cheap burner phone. I can still feel the ghost of the threads, phantom pain twitching beneath my skin. Every month I must pay rent, so I go on live stream again. This time no wires, no script, no lighting team. Just me and a cracked phone camera. I peddle fake diet pills with forced laughter and cracked lips. I mimic the same expressions I once sold for millions, but now it's for pennies. I laugh not because I'm shocked, but because I'm starving. I smile even though my teeth ache. I say babe to strangers who donate tips. I don't care what the product is. I don't ask what it does. I just read the price and the discount and the made-up benefits. It doesn't even matter anymore. As long as it's cheap, as long as someone out there buys it. The cheaper, the better. The faster it sells, the longer I survive. Because the only thing more brutal than being controlled is being forgotten.
I used to believe that fame could fix everything. Not for vanity. I just wanted to be seen. Needed it. I was drowning in debt. Ignored. Invisible. Fame, I thought, would pull me out. Once I was big enough, the brands would come, the money would follow, and everything would finally be okay. The first taste came from a site called Starlinks. Realistic followers, intelligent engagement, become who the world wants to follow. I bought the basic package. By morning, I had 150,000 followers. My notifications were on fire. Comments like, Queen behavior, obsessed with your vibe. Where have you been all my life? I cried. I felt seen. Mia, my best friend, messaged me.
This is dangerous.
She warned.
It's fake and it'll swallow you.
I replied, just wait. When I blow up, I'll take care of both of us. Promise. She didn't push again. Not yet. I kept buying. 500,000, 1 million, 5, 10. I watched my follower count rise like a heartbeat on life support. But offline, I was still nobody. At fashion events, no one recognized me. At restaurants, no one cared about my 10 million followers. No brand replied to my emails. Then came the skeptics. Who even is this girl? How does she have more followers than Taylor Swift? Bot-farmed fraud. Sad. And the exposés. YouTube videos tearing me apart, showing my engagement spikes, fake comments, rented admiration. Then I saw her, Mia, in one of the interviews, sitting across from a podcaster.
She's not a bad person, but she's addicted. I tried to help. She pushed me away.
I blocked her that night. Traitor! I spat. You'll regret this when I'm really famous. That's when I bought Starlink's Platinum. It included high-grade interaction, AI fan chat, even mannequins with embedded camera lenses to simulate real-life events. I rented a warehouse, built a stage, hung banners with my name in gold, dressed 200 mannequins like adoring fans. My fan meeting streamed live. The night of the event, I wore white, lit just right. I stepped on stage, heart pounding. 146,000 people watching. Hearts floated up like glitter. Comments poured in. We love you. She's glowing. Fan meet of the year, I sang. I smiled. I thanked them. You believed in me when no one else did. This moment, it's everything. And then, a click. A metal door creaked at the back of the warehouse. Footsteps, slow, heavy. A man stepped into the light. Bald, broad-shouldered, black shirt soaked in sweat. In his hand, a thick steel pipe. He walked down the center aisle, passing rows of mannequins whose empty stares never wavered. My voice faltered. Who are you? He smiled like someone who'd waited for this moment a long time.
Time's up, sweetheart. You owe us.
I'm live streaming, I stammered. There are thousands watching. He glanced at the camera and snorted.
They're bots. Just like your fame. You paid for this fantasy and now reality's collecting.
I froze. Then he swung the pipe. Crack. A mannequin's head flew clean off, bouncing off the stage. Wham! Another was crushed at the chest, splitting open in a burst of stuffing and plastic. Thud. One was kicked off the platform, its stiff limbs crashing to the floor like a fallen god. I stumbled back, tripping over fallen legs and shattered illusions.
You worship this.
He shouted, smashing another.
10 million lies wearing lipstick.
I screamed into the mic. Someone help me. Please, call the police. The chat exploded. Bro is unhinged. This is insane content, OMG. Scripted or real? He laughed.
They love the drama. Keep screaming.
He grabbed a banner with my face and ripped it in half. Then he turned to me.
You bought love. Now you pay in flesh.
I tried to run. My heel snapped. I hit the floor. The pipe came down crack into my shin. Pain exploded through me. I screamed until my throat bled. 172,000 watching. Wait! Was that real? Bruh, she's crying for real. This live stream is wild. I crawled to the camera. Please, I whispered, barely able to breathe. Someone. He raised the pipe again, but suddenly, a voice cut through the chaos.
Get away from her!
From the shadows, a figure sprinted across the warehouse. Fast, fierce, unstoppable. She gripped a broken mannequin's arm like a club, and with a roar I'd never heard from her before, she swung it with all her strength. I blinked through the blood in my eyes. Mia. She sprayed something into his face. Pepper spray? Then shoved him back with everything she had. Sirens wailed in the distance. She dropped to her knees beside me, arms shaking.
I told you this would destroy you.
Then darkness swallowed me whole. I woke up in a hospital, leg in a cast, phone gone, channel deleted. Mia was asleep in the chair next to me. She had paid off the debt. All of it. Why? I asked, tears streaming down my face. After everything I said? She squeezed my hand.
Because I was the only one really watching you.
Now, I have 43 followers. Just Mia. A few old classmates. My cousin. A girl from high school I barely remember. No brands. No blue check. But I still post. I sing sometimes. I talk about healing. About being honest. About pain. The comments are few, but they're real. You're brave. I'm glad you're okay. This version of you feels human. And for the first time in my life, that's enough.
I arrived in Los Angeles when I was 22, dragging a scuffed suitcase and a head full of fragile dreams. I wanted to act, not just be famous, not just be seen, but to perform something that mattered. I wanted to be somebody. Everyone said I had the look. Tan skin, wide eyes, and the kind of youthful fragility that casting directors seem to eat alive. At first, I thought that was a compliment. Now I know better. The first time I met him, Piddy was in the gold-tinted corridors of Empire House Studios. The walls were lined with platinum records and golden trophies. Piddy didn't audition me. He just invited me for a chat in his office. He wore sunglasses indoors, the kind of man who never broke eye contact, even through 2 inches of designer lenses. He didn't ask what roles I wanted or what my dreams were. He asked how far I was willing to go. Then he stood up, walked over, and without warning, laid a hand on my shoulder. It slid down my back like grease.
Fame leaves a mark, baby,
he whispered. I froze. Back at my apartment, I stripped down and stared at myself in the bathroom mirror. My skin still tingled where he touched me. And that's when I saw it. A red handprint. Bright, raw, and burning across the middle of my back. It wasn't paint. It wasn't a bruise. It didn't hurt, didn't fade, didn't wipe away. I scrubbed myself until my skin peeled, but the mark stayed. I stopped sleeping, stopped auditioning. My inbox was full, but my soul felt hollow. Weeks passed. Then came the white party. I wasn't invited as a guest. I was just a server. He threatened me, said if I didn't comply, he'd release the casting video from that day online. Everyone was dressed in white. Stark, ceremonial white. The kind of white that hides blood, but never sin. Celebrities mingled with producers. Influencers posed beside men who ran studios like kingdoms. That's when I started seeing them. Red handprints. On the backs of dancers. On the thighs of stylists. Around the necks of young interns. All glowing red under the same kind of white light that revealed mine. A woman leaned over the champagne table, and 5 deep red fingers wrapped around her bicep. It was Piddy's wife. And that's when I understood. Only the marked can see the marks. I was not alone. I joined a quiet group online, a closed circle of those who had seen the red handprints, survivors, not just women, men too, a cameraman, a backup vocalist, a personal trainer, all carried marks from the same parties, same rooms, same man. We shared stories, shared proof. We compiled our evidence, glitches in footage, unedited photos, glimpses of handprints in the cold fluorescence of dressing rooms, green rooms, hotel lobbies. We built a case. I told the others, we can do this. We can fight. But then, I got the message. A voice memo. From a number I didn't recognize, but the voice was unmistakable. Piddy.
You open your mouth, Hannah.
He said, calm as a scalpel.
And I'll open the vault. You know the one. Room 7, white party, champagne room. There's footage. You were drugged, but baby, the camera doesn't care. The internet won't either.
3 days later, the video dropped. Low res, grainy, dim lighting. But my face was unmistakable. I was dazed, barely able to stand. He was behind me, his hand pressed to my skin. It went viral before I could even scream. The headlines didn't say survivor. They said, actress caught in scandal with hip-hop mogul. Nobody forced her. Another clout chaser? Agents dropped me. My email filled with threats and offers, none of them professional. Studios blacklisted me. People whispered. Some looked at me with pity. Most didn't look at all. My career was over. No one wanted to hire the girl from the clip. No one cared how it got made. No one wanted the truth. I received a warning message.
There are still plenty of other casting videos. Be a good girl and do as you're told.
After that, the stories dried up. Some members of our circle vanished. One girl, the bravest among us, was found in a river. No one asked questions. I went back to being invisible. Months later, I saw a young actress stumble out of a club, the same dazed look I'd once worn. She had a fresh red mark just below her collarbone. I turned away. Back home, I stripped in front of the mirror, and I saw. Under the harsh white light, they emerged. Not one, not 5, but dozens of red handprints, crawling across my skin like a living plague. My shoulders, my thighs, my neck, my ribs. They weren't bruises, they weren't burns. They were brands, punishments, proof of every time I turned away, every time I stayed quiet, every time I let it happen. I dropped to the floor, shaking. I had wanted to be seen. Now I couldn't look at myself. The marks were everywhere. Some new, still glowing, others old, deep like wine stains, faded but never gone. Some fingers dug into my flesh like they were trying to pull me underground. I could barely breathe. Then, a new one appeared right before my eyes. It bled into existence, blooming around my throat like a hand trying to strangle me from the inside out. Just the red. Always the red. I clawed at my neck, as if I could rip it off, erase it, scrub myself clean of every secret I'd buried under silence. But the handprints didn't just stain my skin. They owned me. They were justice for the voices I didn't protect. They were the rage of every soul I abandoned to save myself. I curled into a ball on the cold bathroom tiles, sobbing soundlessly, because the red fingers around my throat were no longer symbolic. They were real, and they were winning. But I still had hands, still had breath, so I wrote. I bled it into pages. I titled it, The Red Handprints. It's not a cry for help. It's a record of rot, a monument to the cowardice that lives behind fame and filters. Maybe someone will read it. Maybe not. Maybe they'll see the marks too. Maybe they'll finally scream before it's too late.
You probably know me, or used to know me. The body positivity girl, the one who kept it real. People liked how thin I was, and praised me for listening to my body, while they were still struggling to accept theirs. Then they say I'm a fraud. They say my message is twisted, that I hide cruelty behind pastel filters and cheerful affirmations. But I've always been honest. Only eat when you're truly hungry. That was my mantra, my truth. It kept me disciplined, controlled, pure. But something has changed. One morning, I woke up to a mess in the kitchen. The fridge door was wide open, milk dripping down the shelves, half-eaten apples, protein bars torn from their wrappers and crumbled on the floor. My jaw tightened. I lived alone, and I hadn't touched any of that. Was someone in my apartment? The idea of an intruder terrified me. Someone watching me, entering while I slept. I couldn't sleep the next night, so I ordered a home security camera and set it up in the kitchen. The next morning, my stomach turned before I even looked at the footage. More crumbs. A banana peel in the sink. The smell of peanut butter lingering in the air. I opened the app and pressed play. What I saw made my blood run cold. It was me, stumbling into the kitchen at 3:12 a.m., barefoot, eyes open but empty. I looked, possessed. I grabbed whatever I could, cold chicken, spoonfuls of almond butter, even raw oats straight from the container. My mouth moved too fast, too wide. I chewed like I'd been starving for days. I didn't remember any of it. The next day, I threw away everything. Every snack, every spice, every emergency granola bar. I left only a single container with a carefully measured 300-calorie meal. That was enough. That was all I needed. I would not let my body betray me again. But it did. The next morning, I woke up with threads on my tongue. At first, I thought it was a bad dream, but my pillows were torn, foam and feathers scattered across the room. The edge of the sofa had bite marks, actual bite marks. My teeth ached, my gums were bleeding. I watched the footage with shaking hands. There I was again, wandering the apartment. But this time, I didn't go to the kitchen. I tore through my closet, biting fabric, chewing on tank tops and socks. Then I turned to the couch, ripping at the seams, shoving stuffing into my mouth with terrifying hunger. I fell to the ground and dry heaved, but I couldn't stop watching. I called Jay my boyfriend. I hadn't planned to tell him, but I was scared. I think I'm sleep eating. He came over that night, holding my trembling hands, promising,
I'll stay with you. We'll get through this.
I slept beside him that night. For the first time in days, I felt safe. Until I woke up in a hospital bed. White lights, white sheets, white walls. Then the door opened. Jay wasn't there. One officer stepped inside. Behind him, a doctor with a clipboard and tired eyes.
You're awake.
The officer said, "Where is he? Where's Jay?" They exchanged glances.
We need to show you something.
It was night vision footage from Jay's phone. He must have been filming me to help figure out what was happening. The angle was shaky, but clear enough. I watched as I sat up in bed. Jay stirred, whispered something. I turned to him, then lunged. My limbs flailed, sharp and unnatural. My mouth latched onto his arm, tearing into flesh. He screamed, kicked, tried to run. I dragged him down. Blood. So much blood. He broke free and locked himself in the bathroom, phone still recording. He was crying, begging someone to come.
Please. She's not herself.
I stopped watching. I couldn't breathe. No! That's not me! That's not me! But it was. They found him. Alive. Barely. He called the police. Said I tried to eat him. Eat him. They placed me under psychiatric observation. Apparently, it's called nocturnal sleep-related eating disorder. But no one had ever seen a case like this. The doctor said the level of psychological suppression I'd maintained, denial of hunger, hatred of weakness, could have mutated my subconscious into something monstrous. That's why they keep me here now, strapped to a bed. No mirrors, no utensils. My meals are liquid, monitored, rationed. They don't want me to chew, but I still feel it. The need, the craving, not for food. I've tried screaming, reasoning. I tell them I'm better, that I've learned that I'll eat real food now. I'll eat cake. I'll eat bread. I'll eat anything, please, just... But when the lights go off, it happens again. At night, the hunger takes over. The straps strain against my skin. My jaw clenches. My mouth waters. The nurses say I growl in my sleep. One of them swore they saw me smile while dreaming. I used to say, only eat when you're truly hungry. Now, I'm starving.
I stared blankly at my reflection in the mirror. Beautiful, alluring, like a Barbie doll. But that wasn't me.
Congratulations, my little doll, on being discharged from the hospital.
He is Yira, my fiancé, the one who pulled me out of my boring nurse life and designed a new, more perfect life for me according to his arrangement.
Brianna, what are you wearing?
Yira, it hurts.
From now on, get rid of these old-fashioned clothes.
I stared at Yira in shock as he coldly tore my clothes apart, ignoring my cries of pain. Under Yira's frenzied destruction, my dress was reduced to a skimpy outfit.
I spent a lot of money to give you a perfect body. Show it off. Let everyone admire it.
Pleased with his masterpiece, Yira smiled, snapped a selfie, ignoring my discomfort at the suggestive angle. I clutched the bouquet, desperately trying to cover my exposed chest. Once he got a picture he was satisfied with, Yira tossed a bag of clothes at me and ordered me to change immediately. His sudden shift in demeanor sent a wave of unease through me. As expected, Yira didn't take me home. Instead, he brought me to a shady-looking club. Yira, I don't feel comfortable. Can we go home first?
Don't worry. Do you even realize how valuable your appearance is here?
The door swung open. Music blared through the sweltering air, thick with the scent of flesh. Behind ornate masks, countless eyes devoured me, stripping away fabric, seeing only merchandise. Fear gripped me as I clutched my cloak tightly, looking at Yira with pleading eyes. But he ignored me, dragging me straight to the stage. Then, my worst fear came true. Yira yanked off my cloak, exposing the sheer leather dress beneath.
Here she is, Brianna, my proud little living doll. Look, Brianna, the men are going crazy for you.
No, they weren't obsessed with me. They were violating me with their ravenous stares. Disgust tightened my body as I clung to Yira, my only anchor. Yira, please take me away. Yira simply said,
just stay here for a while.
Before casually walking off the stage. I had been abandoned. At that moment, a female dancer approached me, her eyes filled with sympathy.
Don't bother begging that demon for help. Do you really think that just because he gave you a lavish life, you've become some noble lady?
I looked at Yira, impeccably dressed, a stark contrast to the vulgar women clinging to him and to me, nearly naked under the lights.
His ex-wife and now you're nothing but another one of his living dolls.
After that insane party, Yira and I went home together. But the dancer's words kept echoing in my mind. Tonight, I had to uncover the truth. I took Yira's phone into the bathroom. With a little trick, I managed to find his fingerprints smudged on the screen. After several attempts, I finally unlocked his phone. My heart pounded as I opened his photo gallery, digging through every hidden folder. Yera had always told me he hated his ex-wife, yet his phone was filled with intimate pictures of the two of them. And disturbingly, the more I scrolled, the more I realized I was starting to look exactly like her. I met Yera right after his wife left him, when he was on the verge of death from alcohol poisoning. I gave him warmth, comfort. He pulled me out of my dull existence as a mere nurse. I once thought we were each other's light, each other's salvation. What a joke. The truth had been laid bare. I refused to be Yera's lifeless doll any longer. It was time for me to take control of the game. From the moment we met, Yera had never touched me, not even once. So tonight, with a dose of aphrodisiac, I would turn him into my toy.
Brianna, what are you doing? What did you just inject into me?
Oh, my love. Ever since we've been together, you've never touched me. Do you really feel nothing for me?
No, I love you, but I've been hiding my bipolar disorder, so please, understand and don't do anything reckless.
I'm a nurse, Yera. Of course, I've seen your medical records. That's why I used just the right dose. Let me help you. Suddenly, Yera let out a scream of pain, making me flinch.
Damn it, get your hands off me!
I froze, my hands trembling as I felt something soft and lifeless beneath my touch. A chill ran down my spine. I sat up abruptly, staring at Yera in disbelief.
You wretched woman, you're just a toy in my hands. How dare you touch me without permission? Let me go or I'll kill you.
There was no pleasure in his expression, only pain and seething rage. And then, a horrifying thought struck me. Yera, your body already been destroyed by psychiatric meds and alcohol, hasn't it? You've lost your ability, haven't you? That's why you degrade your women, turn them into dolls, because that's the only way you can satisfy your pathetic excuse for masculinity.
Shut up! I'll freaking kill you!
I couldn't contain my fury any longer. I lunged at Yera, clawing at him, the man who had no strength left to fight back, writhing helplessly under the drug's torment. Suddenly, his body convulsed, his breath ragged, a heart attack. He trembled violently, then went still. And just like that, I was alone in the wreckage, consumed by the madness of destroying my monster. I'm Katie, or at least that's the name I've adopted for the internet. You probably know me, or knew me, as the blindfolded mukbang YouTuber who captivated millions with my silent, bizarre eating broadcasts. My channel skyrocketed because of the mystery I cultivated. A simple gimmick: never show my face, never speak, and always eat ravenously, like I hadn't touched food in days. It worked. Bruises on my wrist, Morse code taps on my plates, cryptic captions with capitalized SOS letters, every little detail carefully planned to keep viewers hooked. They speculated endlessly. Is she kidnapped? Is she being held against her will? Who's behind the camera? The truth? No one was behind the camera but me. I wasn't a victim. I was the mastermind, and I made a killing off it, literally and figuratively. At first, my fabricated cries for help were enough to pull in views. Every video made me richer. I never imagined making money could be this easy. It felt like I'd found my talent. I planned a new angle, something to keep the audience guessing. So I came up with the idea for private live streams, pay-to-watch exclusives. My fans ate it up, both figuratively and literally. During the first live stream, I repeatedly pressed my head into a large bowl of sauce, as if someone were forcefully pushing me down. The chat exploded. Who's hurting you? Why isn't she fighting back? Is she okay? Kate, we're here for you. Just give us a sign. The tips poured in. The live stream was a massive success, but it came with a problem. Comments shifted from concern to skepticism. She's faking it, they'd say. This is all for attention. Some even presented compelling evidence to prove their point. They weren't wrong. I needed a new plan. That's when I brought Joel into the picture. Joel was a struggling actor I found through an extras group. I pitched him the idea. He'd play my captor, forcing me to eat during live streams while I pretended to beg for mercy. Joel was hesitant at first, but the promise of money changed his mind. Our first joint live stream was electric. Joel loomed behind me, occasionally barking orders as I stuffed food into my mouth. The chat went wild. This is insane. Someone call the police. Katie, are you okay? The more desperate I acted, the more money came in. For weeks, the plan worked perfectly. Joel and I split the profit, and my channel reached heights I'd only dreamed of. But then, Joel started getting too into his role. It was during our third live stream together. Something felt off the moment we started. Joel's demeanor had changed. He wasn't just playing the part, he was embodying it.
Eat!
He growled, shoving a massive crab leg in front of me. I played along, taking exaggerated bites, but Joel wasn't satisfied. He grabbed a handful of shrimp and pushed it toward my face.
More,
he demanded. The chat exploded. Oh my God, this is too real. Why everyone keeps saying she's acting? She's a good actress? Someone needs to stop this. Huh. At first, I thought Joel was improvising for dramatic effect. But when I tried to signal for him to ease up, a subtle tap on the table we'd agreed upon, he ignored me. Joel, that's enough, I whispered, my voice barely audible under the sounds of chewing. He leaned in close, his breath hot against my ear.
This isn't what you wanted, Katie.
My stomach dropped. Joel grabbed a handful of food and stuffed it into my mouth harder this time. I gagged, my blindfold slipping as I tried to push him away. I tried to spit out the food and scream, but Joel's hand clamped over my mouth.
Keep eating. The show must go on.
Desperation kicked in. I reached for the only weapon I had, the food itself. Grabbing the greasy seafood plate, I hurled it at Joel's face. He recoiled, momentarily stunned. I seized the chance to run, tearing off the blindfold and sprinting out of the room. I didn't stop running until I reached the police station. My story spilled out between gasps for air, but the officers didn't seem convinced. When I showed them the text between Joel and me, they raised their eyebrows.
These messages make it clear this was all planned.
It wasn't supposed to be real, I shouted, but they didn't care. To them, I was just a desperate YouTuber trying to go viral. Now, I'm back home. Every door locked, every window bolted shut. My YouTube channel is gone, my social media accounts deleted. But the fear remains. Yesterday, I received an email from an unknown sender. Isn't this what you wanted, Katie? No attachments, no context. Just that one sentence. I don't know where Joel is now, but I can't shake the feeling that he's watching me. Somewhere, out there, he's waiting for me to let my guard down.
You're great, but I don't date women over 25. Sorry, sweetie.
When the news broke about Rio's breakup with his 25-year-old model girlfriend, I didn't think much of it. It was just another headline in the endless cycle of celebrity drama. But now here I am, sitting beside him at a bar that smells like expensive perfume and ambition, his eyes locked on me like I'm the most fascinating thing he's seen all night.
Oh, so tomorrow's your birthday?
He says, his voice smooth as silk.
25, huh? Tonight's your last night at 24. Let's make it unforgettable.
I'm not the kind of girl who belongs in places like this. My friend dragged me along as a +1, and I've spent most of the evening feeling out of place in my borrowed dress. But here's Rio, an S-tier celebrity, his smile dazzling under the lowlights, choosing me. When he invites me back to his suite, I don't even hesitate. The room is breathtaking, a palace of glass and gold perched high above the city. Rio pours us champagne, and the tension between us crackles. Everything about him seems surreal. His perfect hair, his gleaming smile, the way he moves like he owns not just the room, but the world. That's when I noticed it. A strand of his hair fell loose as he ran a hand through it. But instead of landing softly on his shoulder or the floor, the strand shimmered, then hardened into pure gold. My breath caught.
You're staring,
he teased, leaning closer.
It's a little gift of mine.
Your hair?
Pure gold,
he interrupted, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. I laughed nervously, but the strangeness only deepened. He reached for a nail clipper, trimming one of his manicured nails. The clipping hit the glass coffee table with a metallic plink. A sliver of solid gold. I froze.
Oh, that's not all,
he said, grinning like a magician about to reveal his next trick. He tilted his head back and casually flicked his nose. He placed the shimmering pearl into my hand. Is this real? I stammered, barely able to process what I was seeing.
Real as you and me,
he replied, leaning back into the plush sofa.
And if you make me happy tonight, all of it is yours. Every strand, every clipping, every pearl.
As the night went on, gold and jewels seemed to pour out of him. Quite literally. Every touch, every kiss, every moment sent shimmering treasures scattering across the room. By midnight, the floor was littered with riches. And then it happened. Rio stumbled, catching himself on the edge of a table. A sharp gasp escaped his lips as a golden gash split across his palm. But instead of blood, molten gold began to drip from the wound, pooling onto the carpet. Oh my God, I breathed, rushing to him.
It's fine. Just grab a cloth or something.
I pressed a towel to his hand, my heart pounding. The golden liquid was warm, almost alive as it seeped through the fabric. His breathing was shallow, his skin pale, but still he smiled at me. For a brief moment, I felt a strange pang of sympathy. By the time we collapse into bed, I fall asleep in his arms, the strange warmth of his body lulling me into a dreamless void. Morning came too soon. I woke to the soft hum of city traffic and the blinding sunlight streaming through the massive windows. Rio was already dressed, standing at the edge of the bed.
Happy birthday,
he said, his smile as dazzling as ever. Thank you, but his next words turned that warmth to ice.
This has been fun, but I don't date women over 25.
What?
You're great, really, but I have standards.
Anger bubbled in my chest. After everything, after last night, this was how he saw me. Just another disposable toy.
You can take all the gold and pearls.
He added, gesturing to the glittering mess on the floor.
Consider it your parting gift.
I stared at him, my mind racing. He was so smug, so sure of himself, so untouchable. My eyes landed on the corkscrew on the bedside table. Without thinking, I grabbed it and lunged. The moment the corkscrew pierced his stomach, his eyes widened in shock. But instead of blood, a torrent of gold and jewels erupted from the wound, spraying across the room like a macabre fountain. He collapsed to the floor, gasping, as the treasures kept pouring out. He falls to his knees, his hands grasping at the wound as more and more spills out. His skin cracks like porcelain, and molten gold begins to seep through the fissures.
You fool,
he gasps, his voice gurgling. I stumble back, horrified. The golden river slows, then stops, leaving Rio motionless on the floor. For one fleeting moment, I wonder if I should take the gold and run. But then the gold began to change. The shimmering strands darkened, the pearls cracking and oozing. The smell hit me first, metallic and sharp, like rust and decay. No, I whispered, stumbling back. The gold liquefied, pooling into dark red puddles. The pearls dissolved into chunks of raw, congealed flesh. The room reeked of blood, hot, sticky and overwhelming. I turned to Rio, but he was no longer the godlike figure from last night. His body was collapsing in on itself, his golden sheen fading into a grotesque mess of sinew and viscera. My hands and clothes were stained with his blood. Real blood now, not gold. The riches he had promised me had turned into a nightmare.